So one of the things I love about words in general, and you kind of saw it in the exercise, is all relatively simple, even started out playful, goofy exercise, and yet there was some still playfully presented, but actually gets you thinking about. And so a single word, in other words, has a chance to unlock and kind of shape what happens next. And for this next exercise, we'll call it Choice of Worlds. And it's named after a mentor of mine who used to say that a choice of words is often a choice of worlds. And so what I'd love to do, and this is just a really simple way to use these cards or a list of a bunch of words to make any meeting a little bit more engaging and a little bit more interesting. And that is, what I want you to do is pretend that instead of cards with words on them, on your table, I want you to imagine that there's 60 pairs of glasses sitting on your table. That if you pick a word, that you see the world through that lens. And so if I pick confidence, when I'm hearing a client talk and they're not very confident, I might choose to listen for how can I uplift them and instill confidence in them, right? So you see how if I was in the same conversation with somebody, but I had the word structure, I could be listening for all the ways that they're feeling stressed and think about how some of my systems might add some structure to their chaos. So what I'd love for you to do is you can stretch and expand the time that you would choose a word as a lens. Like every year for the last 8 years, I've made a habit of picking one single word to be a lens. So for next year, I've already picked 2025, my lens is learning. And so already in 2024, I've just started a list of all the people I want to learn from, all the things that I want to learn from, and when 2025 rolls around, I'm going to be mapping that to my calendar. And so it will drastically shape my material reality just because of picking a word. So I'm going to narrow the scope for today. And what I'd love for you to do is choose a word that you would love to just be your pair of glasses for the day. And Debbie, I didn't assign you this job, but at the end of the day, if you have time to debrief, the invite would be, can you debrief the day through the lens that you picked? So I'm going to ask you whatever card you pick to keep it, put it in your pocket, and hang on to that card. And that's the pair of glasses that you're going to listen for, look for, and see the world through. Cool? Go for it. So this is an exercise. How many of you meet remotely with each other or with clients? Yeah. Welcome to Earth post-2020, right? We meet remotely often, and this is an exercise that works just as well, and you don't actually even need the cards for it because you can invite people to choose any word, pluck it out of thin air, but it works just as well virtually. So when I'm meeting and facilitating a group, it's a really lovely way to start a meeting. If we've got a regular staff meeting and I'm picking up that there's not a lot of life happening right now, I might choose to frame up this exercise and just say, just for the next hour, I want to do an experiment in what happens when we just put a different contact lens in and just see our meeting through that lens. And so if you were to pick one word, and what I would do is just have everybody type it in the chat, but don't hit enter. To avoid groupthink, on the count of 3, 2, 1, everybody hits enter at the same time, and you get this little flood of words that show up. And if, depending on the time you have, you can either explain them or not. But at the very least, what it starts to do is gets people to set an intention, an active intention where they're contributing as an active member of the group, as opposed to what happens a lot of times in meeting is if you're not the person speaking, you're passively consuming. And when we design meetings for consumption, we force people into the role of either being a critic or a consumer. But when we design our meetings and gatherings for contribution, we invite people to actually partake and co-create whatever happens.